What's up, everybody? It's John from John Kill 3D Gaming here, and we are talking about one of the best, if not still one of the best. You know what? Fuck it. I don't care if it's the newest one. This is the best Resident Evil game to date. Not only is it a return to form to true survival horror, it is a sequel without having to reboot the series. This is how it works. The new approach to first person is fantastic. Third person has been done to death in the Resident Evil series. It deviated from survival horror to action, which started to become the series' downfall. They tried to go back to survival horror with the Revelations games, which they were succeeding, but they said, you know what, for a main title game, let's return to what made us great. So, Resident Evil 7. How is it in survival horror based? How does it compare to its original that came back way back in the day? It's an equal to that game. Yes, most of what you see in the game is horrific. The Baker family is terrifying. The boss battles are pulse pounding. The creatures you encounter, which are this game's version of zombies, yes, they don't look like zombies per se, like, you know, they shamble like zombies, but they don't look like zombies. But these creatures called the molders, there's multiple molder variations, a handful of them, which are good enough for the game, still require headshots to take down. Then you have to worry about random things popping up at you, the Bakers themselves and your psychotically possessed girlfriend, Mia. Now, it is your job to go through this survival horror of the mansion. The mansion is huge. Tons of secrets, tons of references to the past Resident Evils that you didn't even need to explain it in an opening game cutscene. You can figure it out for yourself how this game ties into the Resident Evil lore. Now, you can find herbs, craft items, and different weapons throughout your, I would say, depending on what mode you play it on. My playthrough took me about 6 to 7 hours, but now I'm going again on Madhouse mode, so it might be longer. But now, when it comes to weapons, that's the thing here. You couldn't go through a Resident Evil game without weapons, but how you get the weapons is in traditional Resident Evil fashion. Yeah, you get hand weapons, melee weapons, you know, you get the traditional knife, and in some cases an axe, but you also get guns like the shotgun. Remember how you get the shotgun in the original game? If you grabbed it off the wall started to come down on you with the spike ceilings. The puzzles in this game are not overly complicated, but they make you think for a few seconds. So they're not super simple, but they give you a little something to think about. Now, the game looks horrifying. And when I mean horrifying, beautifully horrifying. Everything is in detail, from facial animations, dialogue, from just the lighting itself, the blood, the things you will see will either get under your skin or fuck with your mind almost, because Resident Evil really needed this again. There's also hidden secrets to the original game, such as the Arklay Mountains, which was the location of the first game. But the good thing about this game is not only does it use modern day first person elements, it took elements from Alien Isolation, Outlast, and you could definitely tell that the PT playable teaser and what would have been Silent Hills really influenced this game and its design. You know, if this is what PT was supposed to be, Resident Evil kind of continued it spiritually through what they chose to do with this game. Now, you can craft items without a doubt, just like the classic Resident Evil. You can craft items with green herbs, chem packs, and you can also craft bullets depending on what you receive. You also get the traditional lockbox. If you guys know what I'm talking about, the lockbox from Resident Evil in the mansion, where you can store your weapons, get new weapons, and leave things in case you need to go back to them. And traditional sound effects. There's traditional sound effects from the first game, sound bites from the crafting, even the music in some areas turned into the Resident Evil classic music, which was a thank you. Also, there's tape recorders to save your game. Now, my last thing I want to speak about is the boss battles, because you will encounter the bakers and different type of molder bosses, because that's what the infected are called in this game. They're called the molded. I call them molders, whatever. They are very tough to take down, and you will encounter them more than once, especially Jack, the Baker family husband. Him, you will at least fight that guy, I think, twice. As you can see, I used the footage from the garage fight, but there's another fight that is very reminiscent of something you would see in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series. You have to defeat these bosses in very specific ways. You can't just run and gun them like you could do in the other Resident Evils. Even though you have these weapons and you could save up your ammunition, you know, you can have as much supplies as you need, because supplies is scarce. So this game will make you think on what you need to do. You do need to be careful, because sometimes these bosses can kill you in one hit. You really need to coordinate your attacks, coordinate your moves, and ammunition resource. Find the weakness of the boss, exploit it as quick as possible to take them down. And these boss battles, I mean, I must say, my heart has never been so far in my ass. I mean, the first time I encountered Jack freaked me the fuck out, even though I was trying to keep my composure for the stream. But I dealt with him the first time relatively easy. Now, when you encounter the bosses the second time around, they are intense, and the game is worth it. I'm not going to spoil the ending for you, because there is multiple ways you can alter the ending. I don't know if I got the real ending or not, but I'm not spoiling this ending. I'm just going to give you a hint that the ending ties up everything. It ties up how this game connects to the rest of the series. You know, a returning character. This game will make you want to go through and play it again just to see what could happen next, to discover more secrets of the Resident Evil universe that you never thought you knew about. So, overall, Resident Evil 7, I'm not going to give it just an 8. All these people are giving it an 8, No, I'm being unbiased, okay? I don't care if I'm a fan of the Resident Evil series. This game deserves a 9. For all its not only improvements, it takes other things from other horror genres and cranks them up to 11. This game is a 9. Go pick it up.